So I would tell the young entrepreneurs that you have to take the risk, and that you have to fail, and that you have to fail in this age, you have to fail publicly. Like everybody's going to know that it's not worked out, and it's very embarrassing and it's very difficult to deal with also. But you need to then surround yourself with people who are, non-judgmental, who are people who are going to motivate you, and at the end of the day, do it.
Welcome to Entrepreneurship Cell. This is Entreview. We take interviews of entrepreneurs for our magazine, and we're really elated to have you here. So we have Aleena Gandhi from Social Media Dissect. Ma'am, this is Tanisha Mithani. I'm the HOD. And Ria.
Like I said, I'm Ria, go ahead. And we have Ayushi, which is our content writer for the interview.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
ma'am, we're going to go with the questions right now. The very first question we have for you is, what was the inspiration behind social media business? Could you please give us an insight into your work?
Okay, understood. So, the inspiration behind Dissect, I'm going to begin with telling you why I came up with the whole idea and how I came up with it. So, I used to work at a marketing agency. I did a lot of internships to find out what I like doing. And when I joined a digital marketing agency and I did social media, I was like, this is something I really like doing. 2 years into it, I realized that, I have learned everything over here that I can, and it's time to move on. But I didn't want to start another digital marketing agency like everybody else, and then I didn't want to do another job. So I said I'm going to find a gap in the industry and find something that's not been done before. So I came out with, literally, it was just an Instagram page back then, and I thought of bringing brands together. So I used to do a lot of research. A lot of my work was researching, right? So when I would research, I would see that there's not one place which is showing you what all brands are doing together, and I don't know which brand is doing what kind of work. And while researching, I would also come up with, like, for example, this brand maybe can do this better, or this is not proper, or this is not something you do on social media, etc. So I thought maybe I could go ahead and become that publication. But I started as an Instagram page, so a publication that talks about what is happening in the industry of marketing in one place. And that also then started solving a lot of problems. For example, building a community of people who are interested in marketing was something that wasn't so strong, online. So we started with that. Then we found out the problem while researching again of plagiarism, and then we were like, oh my god, there's a lot of plagiarism, everybody's copying everybody else, because there's nobody who's actually checking, or nobody who's actually pointing it out, or nobody who's saying that this is wrong. So then we became the platform to do everything to do with marketing. So whether it was covering brands, whether it was also covering smaller brands, because we also saw that, the campaigns were won by the brands who had the budgets. But what about the brands who don't have good budgets but have very good work? There's nobody showcasing that. So that was also one problem we were solving, and it's been 3.5-ish years now. And we now have two wings to the company. One is the publication side of it, where we cover the trends and what is happening, which brand is doing what, etc. And then we also serve brands and do social media marketing for them. So it is a solution from your marketing, your photography, your social media, your SEO, branding, website, everything to do with that.
That's amazing, ma'am. Also, another question is, what is the relevance of social media for the purpose of effective marketing in today's world? So I'm pretty sure you know that it's obviously the booming trend. It's what we need to do. But how have you faced it? Like, how has it helped you in your company?
So I think my company is in fact born out of social media, so I understand its relevance. Even though in the beginning I did not know where this is going to go, where an Instagram page is going to lead me, but I knew that there was a need for this. There were people who were interested in this, people who were liking it, and that is for everybody and for all industries across the board. Now that we work with so many brands, we know how important it is. Something that I've been saying from back then, that how important it is for brands to actually be online, because your customer has moved to being online, right? So from watching so much TV to now watching so much OTT, or from watching say billboards to now watching Facebook ads. It's the shift is in consumer, and you have to find your consumer. If your consumer is consuming online and is on social media all the time, that is where you would place your product or your service or your ad over there, which is why for all brands you need to be online to be able to be in the eyes of your target audience.
Correct.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
amazing.
Yeah. That's so inspiring, ma'am. Perfectly said. So one more question we have for you is, would you, as a marketing manager, you worked as a marketing manager at Begin, right? Begin Digital Solutions. So while fulfilling your responsibility as a CEO of social media simultaneously, how did you deal with the challenges that you must have faced while working in the two different roles?
Okay, so obviously a job role is very different from a social media executive role. So the challenges are also different. Over there, it is how do you keep up with, for example, new trends? How do you come up with new ideas? How do you kind of manage the team over there as a manager? Then you have, for example, what are the new trends? Because every day something new is coming up. How do you maybe balance work and life with a job, etc. And now that it's moved to a more executive level, now I'm not the one kind of writing the captions, I'm not the one writing the hashtag, right? I have a team to do it. So now my responsibility is how to be a better leader. My problem is going to be how do I get the best talent on board, how do I get the best client on board, how do I have the most effective workplace, how do I manage work from home because of COVID, like my team is remote. So that is a challenge that we are every day working towards and we are trying to solve.
That's
Okay,
so that's
great.
ma'am. It's crazy how COVID has impacted something like this. But it's
All
also,
businesses.
yeah, all businesses, correct. Also, ma'am, according to you, what are the qualities that distinguish a great marketeer from a good one? So something that makes someone better than the others that you might have learned on your journey.
Okay, so something that is personally very important to me, no, and it could be different for other leaders, but for me, soft skills are as important as hard skills. Now, what happens with other people or other places I've seen is that they see your CV and they see your technical skills and all, and they hire you on that basis. But I can't do that. Like, I need to know if you are a team player. I need to know how you would solve a problem. Of course, the hard skills are very important, but I feel like those can be learned if you want to, right? You can pick up and you can learn, but things come naturally. Like, for example, good communication skill, good problem solving skill, good interpersonal skills, good solution driven people is what I look at. And if you are a marketer or any employee, I think those skills are very soft skills are very important, something that the Indian industry I feel like does not give as much importance to. And other than that, when you are a marketer, there is at one point I used to think that, oh, that person has to be really creative. Okay, but I've had a lot of people who are very creative but maybe are not so good at managing it.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. That was so beautifully distinguished. So now I'm gonna ask you, like, what do you think about the future of the digital market with regards to the advent of the metaverse?
Yes, I'm very excited to speak about this because actually, as a company, we are doing digital, obviously, but we are also moving to Web3. And in fact, currently, we're working on projects that are doing NFTs. Okay, so not exactly the metaverse yet, but we have the revolution coming, right? And I personally believe that it is the next big thing. It is something that is going to take over. And like we said about digital like 10 years ago, that Instagram is going to be the big thing. I'm saying right now that Web3, metaverse, your cryptocurrencies now everybody's talking about. But for example, your NFTs, people still don't understand metaverse, and the opportunities that are there over here are absolutely huge. And if you want to be amongst the one to be able to monetize this whole industry, you should get into it quickly. It's going to revolutionize a lot of the things that we are doing. I mean, at one point we're going to all wear like head glasses and then be in virtual worlds working together and like enjoying together. Everything's going to be in the metaverse, in Web3. So understanding it is something that I would recommend for students, especially. Start learning, start picking it up. What are these NFTs? What is the metaverse? How do you build it? What are the different businesses inside it, etc.
That's
Okay.
amazing. Definitely, ma'am. We've heard so much about it, but this is gonna improve, like really inspire me to learn more about it. Ma'am, also you also authored your very own book called The Switch during your time in college. How do you suggest college students to utilize their time apart from studies to do such a big deed that you've accomplished? Because while studying, we barely get time for anything, so we would love to know your input.
Yes, ma'am.
In fact, I feel like the shift is more now. At that time, we had college, and I went to KC College. I'm glad I did. What happened was that it does give you that flexibility of doing something on the side. To be honest, you can make that time, and that's what I would recommend to students: is to take out time and do something on the side as your passion or something that you like doing. Moreover, now with like online classes and these meetings happening online, what is happening is you get a little more time because your travel time is saved, your effort into all of that is going commuting, all of that is saved. So you should definitely take advantage, students should take advantage of that, and maybe just do internships, in the industry that you like doing. If maybe you don't know, I can just start something, it's not that easy. You can learn. First thing is you learn. I mean, when I was 16, so when I was like in college, I did my first internship, and that was proofreading. Then I went to content writing, then I went to book writing, then I went to events, then I did a lot of different things to come to like social media and figure out. So I think it's important for the younger generation to know that these are my options. Then I'm going to try these out and then find out what am I good at and what do I like doing. And now there's so much of YouTube, you all have. You can learn any skill and start applying it. So even an internship, getting an internship, if you know enough through like content on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, you can go and apply into any agency, and they'll be like, okay, you have enough knowledge already without working before, so they're going to teach you stuff, and that is then you can build on that. Even if you don't want to do a job, if you want to start something new, I think there is time from college to go out and find out, if I do something like this, what is the time it's going to take, what is the market like, what product can I do. In fact, I have a lot of my employees who are in second year and third year and just passed out of college, and they're very hardworking and dedicated because they want to do something in life along with learning in college and actually apply it also in real life.
Definitely, ma'am. We all are looking for
Yes,
great internship opportunities.
yes, ma'am. That's great. We feel like we should do more after listening to you. So as we know that you have majored in DA Lit from KC College. So how did that degree help you be in the specialist in marketing field?
So I did arts and literature because I liked the subject. I still like it. It was more theoretical, and I like now more like practical is where I've evolved. But it did give me a lot of let's say like a lot of knowledge about what happened in the past, like what happened in literature, what is the writing like, what is writing style like. That helped me actually write the book during when I was doing the course. So that is how I found the whole thing helpful. And of course, then teachers teaching made a lot of difference because then you're practically kind of listening to them and asking your questions and doubts. So that made it like easier.
Ma'am, definitely our college just shifted from online to offline, so we definitely know what you're talking about. Just talking to the
Yes,
teacher of online
Makes a
offline is just
huge difference.
makes a huge difference.
it's a completely different thing. So online we had the comfort of home, but right now going to college every day and practically
But
listening to
what
teachers.
you get out of going to college, you can't get
You
from
can't get from online.
I
Totally
agree.
agreed, ma'am.
1 year we
I was
were
the
at home.
happiest when I was like schools and colleges are starting. I was like the kids need to go
We
like in
need
a
it. Yeah,
real environment. You can't just be sitting at home and learning.
Yes, we need
correct.
our social life because we like to be social butterfly at this age. We need to know people and all. So that's great. So one more question we have for you is, what are the misconception or misunderstanding of marketing around the field? Like, what do people think it's? Why do people think that's not so much beneficial?
Not so much.
Misconception. Yeah. So
Uh,
misconception.
One thing, two things that I can think of on top of my head, people think is not good salary. But I think that if you do, if you are skilled enough, you can ask for a price that you want to. Second thing is work-life balance, and it's not like it's not a problem. It is a problem because you always have to be online, you always have to create content, and whether you're an influencer or a digital marketing CEO, this space is very hectic. But again, if you time yourself properly, if you know where to stop, if you know how to align your work, it is something that is doable. So I feel like it's a misconception that if you are in digital and if you are in marketing, there is no life. It's not like that. You just need to balance your work properly.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Also, your time at KC College, how did it shape you as an individual? Do you have some instances that you can share with us that, really made you who you are?
Okay. What it shaped me was because I didn't just stick to, this is personal, I just didn't stick to college lectures. I would do a lot of like other extra kind of activities, etc. So like the Rotaract Club and this and that. And that gave me a lot of help into like interacting with people. And I love basically doing that. I love talking to people, gives me a lot of insight. So learning for me was not only classroom learning, it was offline learning also. And then we had a lot of events like the Kiran Festival and all is something that we would participate in. We would watch, we would, come together as a community. So that I think is important rather than you're just learning. And that kind of shaped me because you're at that age, you're meeting so many people, you're learning so many things, you're experiencing so many things, and that entire thing, shapes you. And like I said, I feel bad for students who are not able to do that in the past 2 years, because
Yes,
that is the core essence of
College.
being in
college
college,
life.
that you
Yes.
get to interact with so many different kinds of people. And something that I realized that college was, and KC College was, no, was very diverse. People came from a
Yeah.
lot of different places.
Yes.
Now we went to a certain school, I went to Walsingham school with a certain type of people. I lived in South Bombay, certain type of people. I was always around those people only. But only when I got to college is when I realized that there are so many different types of people with so many different backgrounds that I am getting to meet and interact with. And that was also very exciting part about being in KC. And of course, the
Yes.
canteen.
Of course, ma'am, our canteen is shut, but it's a bummer.
Yeah. It's a hard. We can't eat in
Canteens and me have a lot of memories. I
Yes,
spent a
Yeah.
ma'am.
lot of time there.
Also,
I guess
also,
one of them will be Rajasthan sandwich, right? Eating at
Yes.
Rajasthan sandwich. Yes. It is like the famous for KC students.
So we get our notes Xerox from there and then we go and eat sandwich.
yes,
Any
ma'am.
recommendations from Raju? Would you tell
Also,
us?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Also, last question for you. As a successful woman entrepreneur, what would be your message to all the aspiring entrepreneurs out there? What would be your message and
So
your
for everybody, I think that most of us are very scared of like, oh, if I do this, what will someone say? Or if I do this, what if I fail? And I'll tell you this with experience because I failed so many times that like now I'm okay with it. Till now I wasn't till like it became like, okay, if this social media dissect is working, I would be very conscious about all of my decisions. And because of that, I couldn't do a lot because I feel like, yeah, I'm failing again. I'm failing again. In fact, I did so many things. So I was thinking that I'm doing everything, but it's not working out in the long run. And when I started social media, I was like, this time, no, I can't stop it or give up because like it'll be a shame that I'm just failing so many times. So we are so afraid of failing, and now failures are much more public, right? Because you're announcing everything on social media. So I would tell the young entrepreneurs that you have to take the risk and that you have to fail, and that you have to fail in this age, you have to fail publicly. Like everybody's going to know that it's not worked out, and it's very embarrassing and it's very difficult to deal with also. But you need to then surround yourself with people who are non-judgmental, who are people who are going to motivate you. And at the end of the day, do it. Like don't not try something because you're so afraid of failures. And I know a lot of people say this, but only when you're actually doing it, you realize that this is actually true. We have so many ideas. For example, let's do it and let's try this, especially students and especially us at a young age. Let's make a difference, let's do this, let's do that. But then we think, what if it's not going to work out? What if it doesn't make a difference? I think that we should all, as entrepreneurs, if you want to succeed, then you have to let go of the thought that, what if it fails, because it could. And you have to see what if it like, surpasses your expectations, and you get to learn something out of everything you're doing. So keeping that in mind, I think that's one advice I would give to entrepreneurs in general. And I have a special message for women entrepreneurs because it's very close to my heart. So I have to say this to young women, is that I don't understand why they like sit in their comfort zones. Oh, I will do like a job only, or oh, I will work from this time to this time only. Oh, then I'm going to get married. So this is obviously later, but because I deal with all age groups, what happens is, oh, then I'm going to get married, so then this time is going to go here. Oh, I'm not going to be able to work after I have a child. And I think it's all wrong notions. I think that you can be able to manage your work along with everything else in your life, and that women should not take a step back from their career because there's something other external happening in their lives that they have to do. I think there's always a way that you can manage out work with your family and your everything else that you have to take care of.
Ma'am, that's so beautifully said. It's really inspiring to hear. Thank you so much for
Yes,
joining. We really love to have
yes,
you here. And it was great interacting with you.
I'm glad. I'm glad I could do this,
yes.
and for the college and for the students also.
After hearing to you, we wanna become like you someday. Wanna grow up and remember that we were in KC College, some good memories, and now we are independent.
I'm glad you're,
Um,
and I'm sure that you all will be.
really,
We're
really
changing, I
inspiring.
think, as generations. So
Yes.
I'm sure that a lot of like women are coming up and doing their businesses and standing out now.
Yeah, no, you are a great vibe. You're fun to be around. We had a great time with you.
And
Thank
That's
you
right.
so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.